Good afternoon. I'm Chelsea Whittington, and it's that time again, catching up with the Tolberts. I am here at Tolbert and Tolbert Law Firm here in beautiful downtown Gary, Indiana, joined by attorneys Shalise Tolbert and Michael Tolbert, and I can't wait to hear what's going on. Happy Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day. Good
afternoon.
How you doing?
Don't be so enthusiastic.
It's been a long day.
Yes.
24 hours.
Yes.
Long, the last 24 hours.
I will just say I am with you for probably different reasons, but Wednesdays can be tough. But the two of you are tougher. I just popped in as per usual to find out some things that are going on with the firm, and of course to share information with those who need to know more about the amazing work that's being done right here on 11th and Broadway in Gary. Shalise, I really tried to get on your books in April, and you all must have been in court and really, really busy. And so here we are at the beginning of May, but I wanted to go back in time just a little bit to say congratulations on a very successful scholarship breakfast fundraiser.
Thank you.
Your reactions to that, results?
I was very excited that we were back in person with our UNCF breakfast, our Unity breakfast. We had not been in person in the last 2 years due to COVID, so it felt good to actually sit and have breakfast and not be doing this over a virtual platform.
Yes.
So we were excited about that, and we had a good turnout for the return.
We definitely did. A lot of enthusiastic folks who are very passionate about education. I want to send a special shout out to my Howard sister, Dr. Rochelle Ford.
Yes.
It was great seeing her in the flesh.
Yes.
Hadn't seen her since we were at Howard, and she's still reaching out saying how much she enjoyed being a part of that breakfast and just the whole charge that we have taken up to make sure that scholarships are available to our young people in Northwest Indiana. So anything else on the books for our team, UNCF, right now?
Right now, we are trying to determine what happens with the date for the walk. It usually happens in September, so once we have that solidified, we'll let everyone know.
All right, that's a deal. And the community service continues with the Tolberts. Michael, a little birdie told me that you and the Kappas have been busy once again, making a difference in the community. What's the latest activity?
Well, I'm always proud to support my fraternity, and about a few weeks ago, we had an official launch of the Henry E. Bennett Foundation.
Okay.
At Innsbrook Country Club. It was a very nice turnout, and I'm just going to encourage everyone to be looking for more information about the Henry E. Bennett Foundation. We support our Kappa Leaguers, we support the youth, we show folks how to tie bow ties and a whole bunch of different things. So we're looking forward to really engaging the community even more. We give scholarships out, have an annual golf outing every year that I got to get ready for.
Okay, got to get that swing together.
I got to get everything together, but very excited about that, and I'm so happy for our official launch.
That's wonderful. Speaking of being happy, I'm happy for your colleague here in the office, Attorney Candace.
Yes.
She has finished her tenure.
She has. Candace just finished up her presidency of the Kimbrough Bar Association. She actually did 2 years.
Wow.
We normally have a 1-year term, but she did 2 years and had the legacy ball last Friday, honoring Lake County Prosecutor Bernard Carter. And several awards were given out, and it was a very nice affair.
Yes, I saw it online. Congratulations, Candace. So when you're a part of the Kimbrough Bar Association, how does that rotate out? Does she become emeritus, and do you all re-elect officers? How does that work?
Well, currently, it looks like she's created a past president.
Okay.
Technically, that was not part of our bylaws. I think that's a new position.
Okay.
Which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing.
Right.
I think it gives continuity to the incoming leadership. So you don't want a past president to completely rotate off of a board,
right,
because you lose a lot of historical context. So
yes,
it's not unusual, and you know, Candace has just been a tremendous, magnificent leader, and for her to think about, you know, adding a past president slot just shows you the foresight and the forethought that she had in making sure that our organization continues to thrive.
Well, congratulations again, Candace. Thank you for your leadership and for creating a role of continuity. Now, I was online the other day. It's not uncommon to see, well, I'll say Michael online. He's a little bit more social media out there than usually. Maybe you're busy filing briefs and doing work while he's live. I tease. But I saw you on with another nonprofit organization, spearheaded by somebody we know and love. I've been knowing all my life, Latrice Edwards of Triumphant Transitions, and you all were on talking about donations and great work that she is doing with her organization. Can you fill us in on what that was all about?
I would be happy to talk about my fellow Calumet high school grad, because Calumet people, we just do so many wonderful things.
Don't you though?
For the community,
Yes.
So Latrice is just a sweetheart. And I've been happy to serve on her Triumphant Transition board probably for,
since its inception,
probably close to 20, I shouldn't say 20 years because they're celebrating their 18-year anniversary. So I would say over 12 years.
Okay.
So it's been a little while, and we had a fundraiser in support of her anniversary. We went live, and Tolbert contributed a $100 match to give out gift cards for folks that won. We gave out 2 raffle gifts.
Okay.
So
Latrice
is always doing some great work, and I'm just happy to be a part of her board and to help her make an impact in this great community.
Yes, and if you are not familiar with Triumphant Transitions, I encourage you to definitely go to the website, take a look at them on social media. She has been changing the lives of women, children, individuals in our community.
She sure has.
With various projects from feeding to makeovers to just donations. And it's a wonderful thing for all of us to be involved in, because I too have supported her mission and just support her in general.
And she'll kill me if I don't say this. You can donate at Triumphant Transitions at any time. So,
okay.
So do it. Contact her. You can go on her page. She has a link. Do what you have to do in order to help her.
Yes, shout out to Latrice. Now, I also saw the 2 of you online being recorded for a feature down in Indianapolis. I know that you won an award, and now they want to do the feature video that goes along with it. It's just so much going on. Did you all just shoot something? And I was like, where was I? I was just, I knew it was happening. And as is normal, they had to get on your schedule. So it kind of got rescheduled a couple of times.
Right.
But it happened, right?
This is the Indiana Hoosiers in Business Award that we got a couple of months back from the state. And so this is the companion video, because we could not get it scheduled when the award was given out. So we were able to do it probably about 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, I would just say from a PR standpoint, that just elongates the story. Don't do the video when the award happens. Do it later, and it's like you get the award all over again. But when that finished product is done, we'll be sure to share and let people know the amazing things that are happening here at the firm. Speaking of, I want to pivot a little bit. Michael, I've been working with the 2 of you for a few years now, and I've watched your brand grow over time. And we talk about the messaging that you put out there, and everybody's in love with your billboards, straight out of Gary. But we've also had some interesting conversations about being straight out of Gary, but also emphasizing the impact that you have in the legal realm beyond Gary. Because sometimes people look at it as the message of, okay, so I'm straight out of Gary, so I'm just serving Gary. And I feel like it's part of my duty to kind of level set and dispel that myth and help people to understand the type of legal work that you all are doing across the county, across the region, downstate. Can you just elaborate on that a little bit? Let's help the people understand.
Well, the Strad to Gary motto and tag was really, it was Shalisa's brainchild, because she really wanted to give some positive imagery to the youth in our community, to show them that you can come from this community and actually go on to law school, go on to medical school, be a magnificent PR person, and do a whole host of things.
Right.
And, it never was intended to be restrictive. Never was intended to send the message to people that the only work that we do is in Gary.
Right.
And so we just wanted to make sure that people understand that we have a very robust practice. I would say we have probably a national practice with the mediation certification that we talked about months ago. And we represent a lot of clients and a lot of pretty high profile things that involve constitutional work.
Yeah.
We do personal injury work. We do not do criminal or family law, but we service clients really all across the state and not just in Gary, Indiana. So, you know, it's a good, it served its purpose because we have kids coming up to us in Denny's or wherever we're eating and saying, "Oh, you the guys on the billboard.
Yes.
You that lady on the billboard." And we love that because we're hoping that we can plant the seed and inspire the youth to, you know, transcend to, you know, greater heights.
Yes.
But we also want to make people aware that, hey, we are much broader than that. Our practice is much complicated than that. And we're here to service everyone and not just people from Gary, Indiana.
Thank you for saying that. Did you want to add?
Got that.
You did. I just want to give Shalise an opportunity to weigh in on that because when I talk about messaging, you know, that's my passion. I want people to understand and recognize the impact, the skill sets, the caliber of clients, and people not just write us off per se. You know, just because we love our city doesn't mean that we don't have touch points beyond the city limits.
Right. Well, the only thing that I would probably add to that too is with our billboards, we also wanted to impress upon people that we are here in your community to service you, and you don't have to find someone else outside of your community to service you. So the things in our area of our areas of practice are not just limited to the geographical location of Gary. But we can be your attorneys because we're down the street, you know, so you don't have to go outside of your community to find the legal assistance that you may need.
Well said, well said. And I'm just so glad that we are able to broach this topic. And this is not the last time that you will hear this as we continue to get that messaging out there in a variety of ways. So I'm just letting you know that it is forthcoming and we are counting on the staunch following that you already have to help us carry that message even further and broader. And I would just add that the type of accolades that you receive from the awards and the videos and the feedback further validate the message that we're sharing, that we're qualified. Well, they are, not me. They're qualified. They have the bandwidth. They have the knowledge. They have the experience. They have the certification. Okay, I don't want to get off my whole big commercial, but it just needs to be said.
I would say the support staff too, because sometimes I think that's overlooked. And I would really want to make sure I acknowledge our staff because we just had Administrative Professionals Day that just passed. And that's really a overlooked factor in business.
Yes.
You know, you see us out there and you see us on these lives, but you never see the people that make the engine go and that actually really make things happen. So, you know, we have excellent top-notch support staff, from the legal assistants all the way down to our receptionists, all the way down to our paralegals.
Absolutely.
And that's intentional because we want people that come from the community that come in there and give us their cases. We want them to have the best service.
Yes.
Not good service, but the best service.
The best service. And often there are topics and cases that are of sensitive and emotional nature.
That's true.
And when you're on the front lines receiving those calls, somebody calling frantic, you have a friendly voice on the phone in your team. You have that immediate turnaround, that response to say, here's when your appointment is. And I just love that about your team, and customer service is paramount regardless of the areas we're talking. But today we are talking legal. Lastly, before we get out of here, what's the latest with the podcast, Married People's Business?
Oh, wow. So our last episode that we did was it 3 reasons not to disclose things to your mate?
Your partner's past.
Partner's past, yeah. That was a little spicy.
It was. And if you haven't seen it, you definitely want to head over to your YouTube page, Married People's Business. Subscribe, follow, like, and share.
Right. And you can listen also on audio podcast as well. So on all the platforms where you listen to podcasts, please follow and subscribe, Married People's Business. But yeah, that last one,
it was a doozy.
And can I do some good and welfare before we leave?
Please do some good and welfare.
I want to make sure that I give a shout out to the Meltons, our our mayor-elect, Gary, Indiana mayor-elect, Eddie Melton, on his successful mayoral campaign. Congratulations, Brother Melton. And also to all the winners from Election Day.
Absolutely.
I know being a politician is extremely hard. That's why I do not do it.
Same.
But everyone deserves, if you throw your hat into the arena and you run for public office, you deserve respect. And we want to make sure we honor you with that message. And then the last thing I would want to say is congratulations to Jocelyn Kelly on her recent award, her Community Impact Award.
Yes.
I wanted to make sure that she hears that how proud we are of her, because when she wins, every business owner wins, and not only in Gary, but the state of Indiana. So I want to implore upon her to keep shining the light on businesses here in Gary and across the state of Indiana.
What some great accolades for sure. And you all do your part with the podcast to help shine a light on businesses and those who are in business. So before we get out of here, can you give us the examples of the different types of guests that you look for? I know sometimes you all do solo podcasts, but you also want guests to come on the show.
Yeah, we want to make sure people understand that the podcast is just not for married people to be featured, and you don't have to be married to listen. It's about collaboration. It's about partnerships. And anytime that two people come together and try to do something positive, great things are bound to happen. So we look for partners in business. That would be, those would be a good feature. Married people would be great too, because I like the name Married People's Business. So if we can have married people that are in business, that's great. But it doesn't necessarily have to be married folks. Any people that are collaborating to do some great and wonderful, positive things, we're all for, and we want to spotlight them.
Well, I will tell you, if you haven't watched that or listened to that podcast, you're missing a treat. I have another road trip to take tomorrow to Indianapolis. That's always my treat. I love to listen to your podcast while I'm laughing, while I'm driving and laughing as a result of the podcast. But you want to add something, Shalise?
Yeah, I just thought about it. So we are going to be on DJ C Sharp's Twitch program on May 14th. His program is called The Basement.
That's right.
And we featured him and his wife, Clarence and Yolanda Lewis,
I remember,
on our podcast. So now we're going on theirs, which is, again, that's Sunday, May 14th. And it's called The Basement.
Mother's Day. Okay.
Is that Mother's Day?
That is Mother's Day.
Okay. We were available. I think it's at 7 o'clock. No, it's at 8 o'clock our time, because he's an hour ahead. So,
Well, we definitely have to post that information on your social media so we can be reminded to tune in. You all are just so involved in so many different things, but mostly law. Shalise, how do we get in contact with you to get services rolling?
Well, of course, we are located at 1085 Broadway, Suite B, all at the corner of 11th and Broadway. Our telephone number is 219-427-0094, and the website is www.tolbertlegal.com. Pretty much the same handles for all of our social media, Tolbert Legal.
And you all are out there on Instagram now. Make sure you follow them on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You're on the gram.
He's in charge.
Exactly.
Follow that.
Just follow his lead and follow them.
Yes.
You have been watching another episode of Catching Up with the Tolberts. I've been your host, Chelsea Whittington. So thankful to these two amazing counselors. I ask that you not only watch this video, be sure to share it. And if you have some legal needs, make sure you reach out. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.